So let's come over here and take a quick look. What we've done here is an all-grain brew using about 60 pounds of barley malt, 55 pounds of British two-row pale ale malt, and 5 pounds of crystal malt. We're attempting to do basically what I'm going to call a tribute to Double Diamond IPA out of Britain. First brewed in, I think it was 1876, discontinued in 2003. My brewing mentor, Dave Dickerson, and I developed this rip-off recipe of Double Diamond back in the 90s when we were still drinking it. And today we're trying to recreate the magic of British Double Diamond IPA. This grain was ground. We've added over 30 gallons of water to the grain, gone through a multi-step infusion mash, starting with a pH rest, moving quickly on to a protein rest where we've evolved the enzymes beta and alpha amylase out of the original grains at 122 degrees. After that, we stepped up to 155 degree mash in order to create a very good mouthfeel in our beer, and a 1.5 to 1.7 original starting gravity. This sparging arm is a sprinkler system that we use to wash all the sugars out of the grain. There's a pumping system, which is also part of what's called a RIMS, or recirculating infusion mash, that lets me control temperature better. We use that to push the sugar water over into the brew pot. And where we're sitting now is with about 32 gallons of what we call wort, which is basically super sweet syrup. That's going to be raised up to a boiling temperature when we'll begin adding our hops. Today we're using 3 different types of hops. These are not the original hops that were used in Britain, which would have involved Kent Goldings and some other variants. Instead, we're using some American hops that were available. We're going to use about 6 ounces of pearls at about 10.7 alpha. Then we're going to, at 60 minutes, we're going to then add a couple, 4 ounces of Warriors for our tasting hops. And at the last 2 minutes, we're going to drop in some Centennials, which should have a nice citrusy and floral aroma added to our beer. At that point, we'll move from the boiler through my brand new plate chiller over there, which replaces the previous copper chiller I used in our previous brews, and we'll move that into fermenters. And by the end of the day, we'll be adding several quarts of yeast to 5 5-gallon fermenters for a total of 25 gallons of beer. And somewhere between 8 and 10 weeks, we will be ready to keg it and taste it. And it will be far better than the last beer I made.